Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Confidence Mindset with Amanda. So in this video I just want to talk about how to pull ourselves out of a triggered state of being when we are spiraling or if we feel like things are just not going our way. And I want to start off by saying that it's okay not to be okay, because we are human, and just as much as we love to be in a happy state of being and a joyous state of being and in love and harmony and all of these beautiful states of peace and serenity that we strive to be in, we would not even understand the beauty of them if we didn't feel the negativity and sadness that we sometimes go through in life. And so from this perspective, it is always okay not to be okay. We're human, we have emotions, we are going to feel. And just because we are consciously aware of our thoughts and consciously aware that we create our reality, it does not mean that we're never going to have a negative thought or that we're never going to experience sadness. It just means that we are able to kind of pull ourselves out of it a little bit quicker than we might have done before. But however, our feelings are valid, and to understand that it is always okay not to be okay. Now, with that being said, a technique to do when we are finding ourselves in a triggered state of being is to write it all down on a piece of paper, because sometimes when we are in this triggered state of being, when we are manifesting for a specific person, when we are manifesting for a specific amount of money, career, anything that we are manifesting in our life, a lot of the time we do not have anybody to talk to about, because we are keeping our desires to ourselves a lot of the time, and we are continuing with our manifestation process. And because we are keeping it all within, we don't have a lot of people to talk to, unless you have a manifestation buddy or unless there's somebody that you talk to about manifestation. 9 times out of 10 we hold all our desires within, and it's a pressure when we look outside at our 3D reality, when we are looking for validation and when we are looking for validation and when we are looking at the 3D at time, and we are looking at ourselves and thinking that we have all this pressure because time has gone by or we're not getting the validation that we are seeking. But this is only separating ourselves. As we know, we are falling into fear and disbelief in these moments, and we are just putting the pressure on ourselves. Nobody else is doing that. But however, we are human, and it's our ego that is pulling us into this whole concept of logic, that there has to be a certain way for everything to unfold when there doesn't, because there's infinite possibilities. Everything is possible. Your desire can come to you in 100 different ways, but the logical ego mind is always there because of how we have lived our life and things that we have learned, and it will pull us into the 3D and try to find the logic of where the desire is, validation, time, all of these things that make us fall into disbelief and fear and anxiety and triggers us within. So with that being said, this is normal, and when we are manifesting for particular things that seem bigger, nothing is bigger, because everything is the same. But however, sometimes we may look at some manifestations that are bigger because they're taking a little bit more time, and it's normal to have these feelings. So in these moments, write it all down on a piece of paper, because you are able to say everything, because there may not be somebody that you can tell your deepest inner negative thoughts to, but you can write it all down on a piece of paper for yourself, and write everything down, your whole life, everything that is frustrating you, everything, circumstance, everything. Just write it all down on the piece of paper. Doesn't matter how short or long it is, just write it all down. As you are doing this, it will release all the tension and emotion. You may cry, you may feel a sense of relief, but also after you do this, I want you to read it all and look at it thoroughly and say to yourself, okay, why have I expressed everything like this on this page? And this is where we pull ourselves out of the triggered state of being, because when we look at the story, we are able to identify what it is that we're actually feeling. So we look at the story and we may look at our career, for instance, or a relationship unfolding in a way that hasn't happened in the way that we desire, and we can look at it, and whatever we have written, we may come to the realization that, you know what, in this moment I'm feeling not good enough. So we write that down as our affirmation, and we change it to I am good enough. then we look at our career or whatever, and we may be thinking to ourselves that it's not picking up the way that we want, and then we say to ourselves, well, I'm not feeling valuable. And so then we write down, I identify as somebody who is valuable to society. And there's another affirmation. So we have, I am good enough, and I identify as somebody who is valuable to society. And then there may be money as well too. You may be feeling that you don't have enough money, and then you can write down on your affirmation, I am always provided for, I am feeling safe, I am feeling secure, I am feeling stable. And then with these affirmations, I am good enough, I am identifying as somebody who is valuable to society, I am always provided for, I am secure, I am safe, I am stable. You will loop these 3 statements in your mind for at least 10 minutes to shift out of that state of being. And then when you come out of that, you will feel a sense of relief, and then you will start to have that assumption, I'm going to keep going, I am doing good, I am doing great, I'm on the right path, everything is unfolding for me, and I know that I'm going to get exactly what I want. I'm human, I'm going to have emotions, and I accept that, but I understand that as I accept that, then I am eliminating it more and more every single day, because I'm not afraid of my emotions anymore. I am standing up to my emotions, and I am saying that I am stronger than my emotions. I'm stronger than my mind. I'm stronger than my circumstances, and I can achieve exactly what I want. And this is how we shift ourselves out of that triggered state of being, because we are human and we are always going to feel emotions. It is, I mean, I maybe it is possible for somebody to be happy 24/7. I don't know, but for me personally, it's not. And I do have my moments as well too. But as the more you get into mindset work, and the more that you get into conscious manifesting and that as well too, and you see things in your reality that reflect it back to you, you are able to direct your mind a lot quicker. But however, I do have my moments as well too, but getting over that whole idea that I wasn't allowed to have a negative thought, or I wasn't allowed to have feelings, getting over that, I had to accept that for myself on my journey, and that took me a little bit of time to accept as well too. I even mentioned it on a video the other day that, sometimes I still struggle with it a bit, because I'm always trying to keep my mind conscious on exactly what I want. But we do have to understand that conscious manifesting, look, manifestation is perfect. It's always going to come in the most beautiful way anyway. There's 100 different ways for everything to come. We never have to worry about how something is coming, and all we have to do is understand that nothing can mess it up. All we have to do is keep going and understand that we're going to get what we want no matter what. And when we fall down, we can remind ourselves of this, but sometimes it's hard to get out of that triggered state. And so I just wanted to share a technique to do when we are feeling in that triggered state, because sometimes just sitting down and meditating is not going to help us get out of that triggered state. Sometimes going out and exercising doesn't help us. Sometimes even breath work doesn't help us, because we're still, after doing breath work, we're still feeling the emotions. So writing it all down and getting it all out in a piece of paper, every single intrusive thought that you have, get it all down, and then afterwards you pick out where you think your feelings are, and you change them into the positive statements. You take them positive statements, and then you loop it in your mind for at least 10 minutes, and then you shift out of that triggered state of being. And then afterwards, then you can either rip up the piece of paper or burn it or let it go, and just know that you have overcome another circumstance, you have overcome, you've become more stronger than your circumstances in that moment. You have become greater than your circumstances in that moment. You have become more infinite. You're elevating yourself up there with the higher intelligence, and you're becoming more into union with your desire. You're coming more into stability, into security within yourself, and confidence within yourself, because the more you can self-regulate your own emotions, the more confident you can become with yourself and with your power, and with knowing that everything you want is unfolding in the perfect way for you. So I just wanted to share that video to help anyone who may find that they struggle a bit to get out of the triggered state sometimes. This is fine, it's okay, you're still going to get your manifestation. But it's just sometimes when we feel a little hopeless, or we feel like things are impossible and we can't get ourselves out of that triggered state, this is a good technique to do. So I will leave that video there, and thank you so much for watching, and I will chat to you soon.